I thought it would be a fun idea to turn VTubers into my other favorite thing, drinking. That's a flavor. Ooh, she's squirting. Ooh, that looks awesome. I'm in pain. I swear to God, I'm not doing this on purpose. I'm really proud of that. We're feeling great. I am not beating the boy failure allegations. Hello, and welcome to my kitchen, or as real Steve Sakai heads will know it, the place where my air fryer broke. But don't worry, it's still broken. This is sticky. Hold on, I need a Clorox wipe. Okay. If there's any two things I'm known for on the internet at this point, it's VTubers and probably alcohol. I don't know what to make of that fact. It's just the life I have to live now. So I thought it would be a fun idea to turn VTubers into my other favorite thing, drinking. God, what have I become? Now, if you have seen any of my Hollow Stars videos, you know I have a very clear bias. And thus, our first group is going to be Hollow Stars EN, baby! Let's go! Also, there's only 10 of them, and that was a reasonable number to start with. Now, given what we're doing, there are a few notes that I need to talk about before we start. First of all, please drink responsibly. These drinks, I think, are very good, but there are quite a few of them that are very easy to drink and hide their alcohol content a little too well. So please, drink in moderation, be careful, drink lots of water. That's why this is right here. If anybody knows what it's like to drink too much, it's me on every Drink Sakai stream. Which brings us to our second note. I am but one man. Usually that involves how much work it takes to make those other videos. In this case, it's how much alcohol I'm gonna have to drink, because there's no one else here to take it from me, and I don't want all of this to go to waste, because it was kind of expensive. So, if you see me change outfits between takes, if the time of day changes in the background, please understand, it's so that I don't pass out trying to make the 10th cocktail in one day. Otherwise, that's kind of it. Let's have some fun and drink some alcohol. Now, naturally, we are going to start with our fearless leader, Regis Altare. When I think of Altare, I think of, honestly, that smile. You know what I mean? Someone who is light and kind and soft, and so I wanted some kind of lighter drink to go along with that. And that's why our first drink is actually going to be pretty simple. It's going to be a little take on a gin and tonic. This one's pretty easy. First of all, you're just going to get some ice. Second, we're going to do 2 ounces of, I've got Hendrick's gin. Ooh, yeah. I don't think the brand really matters that much, let's be honest. If you have some favorites, do those in any of these. There are a few exceptions to that rule, actually, but in general, you know, you can replace whatever the main basic alcohol is with whatever you want. 1 and 2. Next is, of course, the tonic. It wouldn't be a gin and tonic without it. That didn't make nearly as much of a nice sound as I wanted. Anyways, next is the tonic. Interesting fact, the gin and tonic was born due to this quinine in it because of trying to prevent malaria. People needed to take quinine, and it apparently tastes like shit, so they created the gin and tonic to help them get the quinine down. Roughly 4 ounces of that. I didn't measure it out exactly. I mean, you basically just fill your glass. That's not that hard. If you need a little more, take a few sips, pour a little more in. That one doesn't need to be an exact science. What does, however, is our last little bit. To get that nice Regis Altare blue and add a nice little bit of flavor, I'm going to use just ½ an ounce of blue curacao. And that's what makes ours just a little bit different than the basic gin and tonic. Look at that. And that right there is a beautiful color. Just gonna add a little sprig of rosemary to finish that off, and bada bing, bada boom. And that right there is our Regis Altare, aka the Hero's Reward. It's just a nice, refreshing little beverage to have at the start or end of your day. That rosemary in the nose really helps with that feeling. I love this. I'm not even huge on G&T, so it's probably the blue curacao that's doing it for me. Just that little bit of orange flavor, I think, goes a very long way. I should probably mention, I said AKA the hero's reward. Almost all of these drinks are going to have an alternative name, so that if you're making this for a family member or a friend or whoever who doesn't actually know about VTubers, you can still present them a cocktail name that won't make you sound as much like a weeb. Alright, that is good. Okay, I'm one drink in, so let's get to the next one. I need some things, hold on. Now, I gotta remember how to make this drink. And where better to go from Regis Altare than to his fellow Tempest member, Axel Syrios. This drink's gonna be fun because if you know me and you know Drinks Kai, there's no way this video is gonna end without at least one of these cocktails having Fireball. Now, what we are going to make for Axel here is actually a little take on the Whisky Smash. However, we're gonna make a few changes to make it our own. Of course, we are going to be using Fireball, as we mentioned before. Typically, if you look at Fireball's website, they have a recipe for a Whisky Smash using Fireball, and theirs usually calls for lemon, but we are going to do something a little different. We are going to use some orange wedges, first of all. Ugh, look at that. Orange is bigger than lemon, so we're gonna do just 2 kind of slices here instead of the typical 3 lemon wedges. Woo! Ooh, she's squirting. I'm sorry for saying that. Now, typically you would muddle 3 lemon wedges inside of your shaker, but as we said, we're gonna be using these orange wedges. I'm gonna take that sticker off. Now, muddling is just a fancy word for bashing with this club. So we're just gonna push that in, really juice it up. You know what? Fuck it, we're gonna do a 3rd one. I'm also gonna be honest with you, I haven't tried it this way yet. I made it a different way last night, and it tasted good. So if this doesn't work, we'll switch to that one. There we go. Ooh. We're gonna add our ice. We're shaking. It's frozen to this. Oh God. That worked pretty well, goddamn. Okay, I want more ice. Don't feel bad about how much ice is in the shaker for this. The ice from here is not going into the drink. Now the next little change we're going to make is very similar. Usually you would do 3/4 of an ounce of simple syrup. Simple syrup is very easy to make. You will need it for a lot of cocktails. It's just 1-to-1 water and sugar. Just pour the sugar into a pot, pour the water on top of it, heat it up, just mix it around every once in a while until it's all dissolved and it's like close to boiling even if you want. Very easy. I do like a cup of sugar and a cup of water or 2 cups, as long as it's 1-to-1. Let it cool, it'll get all syrupy, put it in whatever container you want. However, what we are using for this one and another one down the line is orange simple syrup, which you're gonna make just exactly the same way, except you are going to just peel 2 oranges and put those peels in there and pour the sugar on top, pour the water on top, and it really absorbs the flavor, makes it nice and orangey. Now, you may notice I kept the orange peels in here. That is for later. If you don't want the orange peels for that drink that we will talk about later, strain it, whatever you want. 3/4 of an ounce of that orange simple syrup. Finally, some mint. You're gonna take, I don't know, 4 or 5 leaves or something. You're just gonna tear them up, put them in your shaker with all the ice, and then throw that lid on. Oh wait, I'm an idiot. And then last, but of course not least, I definitely almost didn't forget to put this in. We're gonna throw in 2 ounces of Fireball whiskey, and a little for me. Okay. Throw that lid on. If it looks like I'm shaking this weird, that's because this kit was $40 on Amazon and sometimes it likes to leak. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Boom. Speaking of cold, I'm getting a little too hot. Let me take this off. All right. What we're doing? Now next we're gonna need to double strain this just to make sure we don't get the pulp and the mint leaves in there. The issue is I don't have a second strainer. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna use my Huel cup. I'm gonna filter it into this and then filter it from this into our little glass here. Speaking of the little glass, you need some ice. The reason this cup is so small is this isn't a very large drink. So if you make this in a larger glass, don't be confused as to why it doesn't look so full. Ultimately, this is like 3.5 ounces of liquid. All right, we're gonna grab our strainer. There we go. Oh, look at that. And then, like I said, we're just gonna double strain this into our glass here. Bada bing, bada boom. And to cap it off, just grab one last little sprig of mint. Slap that bad boy against your hand. That apparently like wakes up the essential oils or whatever the fuck. I don't know, I'm not a bartender. I read that online and I believed it. And we're just gonna throw that into there. And that right there is the Axel Syrios, aka the Champ. Let's try it. Oh, that's delightful. I love that. So I wasn't joking earlier when I said I had not made it this way yet, and I'm not joking, this is really good. It's pretty sweet. If you don't want it as sweet, then you can use the lemon juice, but it tastes perfect. It just tastes like a little Christmassy orange and cinnamon drink. I'm really proud of that. I know the whole point of the video is me making these drinks and liking them, but holy shit, this one is surprising me. I didn't know I would like it this much. I liked the one I made last night, but this is a lot better. That is really delightful. We've got that nice orange color for Axel. When I think of Axel, I think of just the coolest bro you've ever known. Really sweet, with just that little bit of a spicy kick to him. And let's be honest, what's more fitting for a gladiator than a drink called a smash? I don't like to toot my own horn that much in reality, but this is pretty fucking good. Here's to you, champ. And we're back, okay. And up next, of course, we have everybody's favorite jester. That is right, it is Gavis Bettel. Look, when I think of Bettel, the man's a vodka drink. Let's just put it out there. The man's a vodka drink. And I'm allowed to say that because, let's be honest, so am I. A vodka drink, a man who is a vodka drink is either just a massive Russian guy, in which case you're drinking this straight, or more in my and Bettel's case, you're mixing it with a bunch of stuff and making it way too sweet. The vibe is you have made too many bits about being a boy failure. By the way, that's 2 ounces of vodka. I should probably be saying that as I'm making it. And then everybody just kind of starts to treat you like one. And then eventually you have to start refuting it because you're not a boy failure. That's just kind of a joke. And then that just makes people double down more. So you're gonna add 1 ounce of blue curacao just to really, oh shit, oh. Me spilling the alcohol everywhere is not helping my case. Fuck. It got stuck to the blue curacao, it's not my fault. So everybody starts to treat you like you're a boy failure. But you're not. You swear you're not. So everybody starts doubling down, and then eventually you're just a broken husk of a man who can barely open the sticky ass grenadine bottle. Oh god, you're dripping blue curacao everywhere. I swear to god I'm not doing this on purpose. Fuck. So you're gonna add 1/2 ounce of grenadine. So just to recap, because this has been a mess, that's 2 ounces vodka, 1 ounce blue curacao, 1/2 ounce of grenadine, and you're gonna wipe it up with your paper towel and then put that on there because now it's all colorful and sticky. We want ice in here, and we also want ice, I should have gotten it the first time, in our glass. I swear to god I'm not doing this on purpose. I forgot to start recording on my phone, so there's no shots of all of me pouring that stuff from that angle. But it's recording now. So eventually you just become this broken husk of a man. And you have resigned yourself to acting like a boy failure for everybody else's entertainment because you know they're never gonna believe you otherwise. And that is a vodka drink of a man. So there's that. The last step is roughly 4 ounces pink lemonade. Something like that. No, a little bit more. That's probably enough. And then we're gonna strain it because I don't want more ice. And then you're gonna get it on the counter again. Woo! To really make this stand out as Gavis Bettel, as a little jester of a man, we are going to add this stuff called luster dust. This is basically edible glitter. It's used for decorating cakes and for mixing drinks. And so we are going to add a bit of that to really make this shine. I'm gonna stir that. Oh, that looks awesome. You got yourself one whole Gavis Bettel, aka the Jester. Or if you're really feeling frisky, aka clown juice. I know it's not a flavor, but it does taste like purple. You can forgo the luster dust if you don't want to spend money on that. I've made it several times that way. I don't know how it's coming up on this camera. I know it looks a little more gray on this camera, but it really is a nice purple in person. If you make it without the dust, then you'll really know for yourself. I'll put up a picture right here. That's what it looked like when I made it without the dust. A beautiful, shiny, sweet vodka drink for the Jester himself, Gavis Bettel. A man after my own sensibilities and heart. Enjoy some purple in your life. And please stop being so harsh to us. I'll admit this one is much more hit or miss for people because it is very, very sweet. The blue curacao, the grenadine, and the pink lemonade makes that really sweet. I love very sweet drinks, so I love this. So if you're like me and you like just super sweet vodka drinks, you like your pink lemonade vodka and pink lemonade, then you're gonna probably like this. That's it for now. I'm gonna eat dinner and finish this, and then probably have to immediately make another one. I didn't do enough today, so we might be going through 4 drinks tonight. We'll see if that happens. But until then, I'm saying that like it's a sign up. You're gonna see me in 3 more seconds. So, I don't like to play favorites, but this next one's my favorite. This was the first drink I made for this video idea, and it was such a home run slam dunk that everything else afterwards has been kind of a disappointment. They're all still good. It was just, this one ended up being so incredible in my opinion, and such a hit with everyone who tried it, that it's kind of been downhill from there, which is always a great way to start. But this is the Josuiji Shinri, aka the Ronin. Now when I think of Shinri, I think of this big, strong man who is still very soft and sweet and easy to consume. And that's why I thought of an old-fashioned. Now, biased from where I live, I don't think it's really an old-fashioned unless you use bourbon, but we're gonna have to make an exception here. For those of you who don't know, bourbon is actually a subset of whiskey, specifically made from Kentucky. But what we're going to be using today to give it a bit of that Xenokuni flair is Nikka Coffey grain whiskey. This is an admittedly kind of expensive Japanese whiskey, but when you try this drink, you'll understand why it kind of had to be this one. I picked it up because a lot of reviews online said that this is pretty close to bourbon. It is a lot sweeter like bourbon. It's got about the same alcohol percentage as quite a few bourbons you'll find. Oh, it smells like a nice bourbon, but it has this really nice citrusy taste to it, which will come in handy in a minute. But to start our old fashioned, of course, we're going to start with 2 ounces of it. Now, if you're like me, ooh, you could drink that straight right now and be just as happy. But that's not a cocktail at that point, that's just straight whiskey. Now, the next step in an old-fashioned is usually simple syrup. But if you remembered what we talked about during the Axel Syrios, the orange simple syrup has made a comeback. I'm going to do 3/4 of an ounce of that. That is also partially why this whiskey is so perfect for this drink. It already has a very nice nose of orange and has just that citrusy taste. And we're going to do this now because I have this open. An old-fashioned is typically garnished with an orange peel, but if you remember, we are going to garnish ours with the orange peels that we made the simple syrup with. That is why I held on to them and I didn't strain it. I'm going to run this along the edge here, so that's going to keep just about every sip nice and sweet, and it's going to help with something we're going to do in a minute if you want to get fancy enough with it. So that's going to go in there. You're going to lick your fingers because they are now covered in syrup. And finally, if you know your Shinri, you know he is mostly orange, but with a little hint of blue. This is just blueberry simple syrup. You can find this in most groceries. Now, you're not going to add a lot of this. We are going to add about 1/4 of an ounce, If you really want to taste the liquor more, then you can go ahead and do a full ounce of the orange and a dash of this. But for that nice color, we're going to put in the full 1/4 ounce. Now the final steps, usually for an old fashioned you'd have a large ball or cube to go in there. I don't, so we're just going to put in just about 2-3 ice cubes. And to add to that blueberry, and also part of the garnish, going to be 2 of these blueberries. What I like to do is cut in half a few blueberries and put in a few whole ones, and then kind of top off a little container with this exact same whiskey so that they kind of soak it all in, and the whiskey gets to have a bit of that blueberry in there too. If you try a little sip of this, I find it is also very good. It has a little bit of coffee taste to it, in my opinion. They actually have a single malt version of this same kind of brand that is supposed to apparently taste a little bit more like coffee. So if you want to try that and pour in a little bit of this instead of your blueberry simple syrup to make a little bit more of a coffee flavored vibe. Finally, it's not an old fashioned without bitters. We're just going to do a little dash of classic old fashioned aromatic Angostura bitters, whatever you want to call it, they're all the same thing. Swirl that around. You've got yourself a Josuiji Shinri. That is perfectly good. That is a great place to stop. It is delicious, as is. You may be wondering, hey, why didn't you get that really cool fancy shot that you usually do? That's because we're not quite done. I like to do one last thing. We're gonna smoke it. If you don't want to, if you're not a smoke person or you don't have one of these, that's totally fine. This is absolutely delicious, as is. But we are going to give ourselves a little treat by smoking it with some ginger. And that right there is the true and finished Josuiji Shinri. Ooh. I definitely don't have favorites. I do honestly feel bad that, you know, for this kind of thing, you shouldn't have a favorite, but this is one of the best things I've ever had to drink in my life. I also shouldn't be going so fast. That's an old fashioned. This shit's 45%. Hey, remember the part where I said drink responsibly? Alright, my drunk ass is gonna have to deal with smoldering ginger root, so cut to next segment. Hey, real quick, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I am really proud of everything in this video, except all the camera problems. This video has been a whole lot of fun to make, not just because I've been drunk every day. And I really hope that you're having fun watching it. And if you are enjoying this, I would really appreciate it if you shared it around with your friends, your family, anybody you see at a bar. I don't know. If you want this at your local bar, show your bartender. They probably won't make any of these, but you can try. And as much fun as I've had making this video, it was also easily the most expensive video to make outside of actually going to Japan. So if you want to become a channel member, you get early access to these videos, extra videos, all sorts of cool stuff. Or even just liking, commenting, and subscribing, doing the YouTube things, and sharing it around. Those all help immensely. Thank you so much, and back to me ruining my liver. I would like to start out this segment with a sincere apology. I did make the entirety of the Josuiji Shinri and call it the Ronin, and at no point pointed out that the smoker cap kind of looks like the classic Ronin straw hat, and for not picking up on that and having a great moment of observational humor, I am sorry. And so to make it up to you, we're about to make 2 more drinks. What else did you expect, baby? So next on our list is going to be the Machina X Flayon. As you can see, we're already off to a weird start. So what we're gonna do first is we are going to grate some ginger. Stick with me, I promise this is good. We don't really need a ton for this. It's much more just about the flavor. We're just gonna put it into this coffee filter here. That should be more than enough for how much we're gonna do. I shouldn't do that, that's gonna fuck with my taste buds. That should be more than enough for what we're gonna be doing today. So what we're basically about to make is a cherry bomb shot and filter it through this ginger. This is cherry vodka, I promise. I just had to put it into a Tito's one because the cherry vodka bottle wouldn't close and I needed to travel. You don't need to know that, but this is cherry vodka, I promise. Yep, that's still cherry. And I'm gonna make enough for 2, so kind of ignore what you see me pouring and listen to the numbers that I say. Basically, you want approximately 1.5 shots of cherry vodka. Oh, shit. This is a good point to note that if you have a rubber band on hand, that would actually be helpful, so you don't do what I did. But that is 3 ounces of cherry vodka, filtering through that ginger. And the other part of our cherry bomb shot is going to be some grenadine, just a little more cherry and a bit of color. You're just gonna want just a little bit of that, little dashes. It's not a significant part of the shot. I'm gonna do a little more just for color. And that's gonna take a minute. It is running through a coffee filter. So this is one you kind of wanna be ready to either take time or start it in advance, because that's gonna take a hot minute to pour through. But it is well worth it, and it's gonna look very cool. But for a video, we have other things that we can do while we wait on this. And so that shot is going to be our Machina X Flayon. But what is Flayon without the Artress? Like I said, it's a cherry bomb shot, and so we need to drop it into something. We're not doing Red Bull though. Instead, what we are making is a cherry bomb style spicy cherry limeade. I promise this is really good. Please stick with me. Filtering it through that ginger is going to add a very fun spice to it that you don't typically get from your spicy Bloody Marys or margaritas, and that is why I really like this one. So it's 3/4 cups of simple syrup, and then you're basically just doing 1-to-1 ratio, 3/4 of a cup of lime juice. You can freshly squeeze it if you want. I'm too lazy. Go ahead and just give that a stir. Whew! It's nice and sour. Like I said, just 1-to-1. If you're making this for a big party and you want to make a pitcher, just lime juice, simple syrup, 1-to-1. I do think it's really funny that I said simple syrup is important for a lot of cocktails, and the one thing we've used normal simple syrup for is limeade. Now this is clearly still filtering, so I'm going to put this in the fridge, because I don't want to put ice in it and then have that melt. We'll do that later. But Steven, that still has so much to go. What are we going to do with all this free time? The answer should be obvious. We're making another drink. That is right, everybody. It is time for the Banzoin Hakka. And once you see this drink finished, you're probably going to understand why I decided to put these two back to back instead of going in debut order. Now, the Hakka easily went through the most iterations before I got to where we are. But I knew that I wanted to keep that Zeno Kuni vibe alive and use another Japanese liquor. It is another Japanese whiskey, but this one is Suntory Toki, whoa. This one is notable for being the whiskey that they put into their highballs. If you are buying a Suntory highball can at the convenience store, in a restaurant, wherever, it's gonna be Toki. And those ginger ale highballs are what got me through Japan. So I have an affinity for this, especially the ginger ale highballs. And I wasn't sure why until I actually tasted this straight. Now, Toki itself actually has a very nice and noticeable ginger finish to it. So at first I was like, okay, well, Toki highball drinks, you could do rum and coke or Jack and Coke style. I didn't really love that. Then I was like, well, it has that ginger finish, so let's put a little bit of ginger ale in there and then finish it with some Coke. And that was better, still didn't love it. But then I was like, well, I can't just do ginger ale. That's just a ginger ale highball. That's not fun. And then it hit me. What other famous drink has ginger in it? And that would be the ginger beer in a mule. Now, most of you are probably going to be familiar with the Moscow Mule, which uses vodka. But there is also the Kentucky Mule, which uses bourbon instead of vodka. And if you remember what we said earlier, bourbon is a subset of whiskey. And since this is carbonated, well, that's basically sort of like a highball anyway. So with a whiskey with a nice ginger finish going with a ginger beer, it's carbonated just like a highball. It just started to make sense, and it is really good. So we're gonna start the way all good mules should, with a bunch of ice. Next, we are going to do 2 ounces of our Suntory Toki whiskey. This might not have 2 ounces in it. It was about 1.5. It's a good thing I have a second bottle. So we're gonna do a little over half because I spilled a little bit. So 2 ounces of Suntory Toki whiskey. Next, you're just gonna basically top the rest of the drink off with ginger beer. There we go. And finally, there are 2 ways that you can do this. I find that they have slightly different effects. If you want to go classic, you're going to just do a squeeze of lime juice. What I find is that makes the drink a lot spicier. So if you like this ginger style spice, You're gonna really like the lime juice. It's gonna just give you that nice tingle and burn. Again, this nice ginger style burn. Now you see why they're back to back, as opposed to that peppery burn. If you want it a little more tame, a little more calm, and for a little more Banzoin purple, you just do a splash of pomegranate juice. Let's do a little bit more. Why not? Smelling great already. But finally, it would not be a mule if you did not pop in a sprig of mint to garnish. That's good. If you don't like the sweet drinks I've been doing, this is definitely the one for you. Like I said before, the ginger in both is working together to give you that nice ginger style burn and spiciness that I just love. Just to reiterate again, the lime juice and the pomegranate juice have different effects. If you want more mild, go with pomegranate. If you want the spice just a little bit more, go with the lime juice. And if you don't really love the ginger beer in a mule, then just use ginger ale and you've basically got a ginger ale highball, which, as I said, carried me through Japan. So I can't complain if you do that. And the mint even kind of looks like Hakka's feather sticking out. I don't know, it's fun. This is a fun drink. And just like a twink singing heavy metal, it's spicy. Behind the scenes, oh my gosh, he's wiping down the counter? Yeah, because he's spilling every fucking alcohol he pours. Shit's so sticky now. Alright, obviously that's taking a hot minute, so I'm gonna put it on a time lapse, go do some other shit, and once it's ready, I will finally get to taste Flayon. I could have phrased that better, but I'm gonna choose not to. As you can see, that is still going, but I finished the mule, I finished my dinner, and I just want to have this drink, and we have more than enough for what we're gonna need. So let's go ahead and just do this. I'm gonna grab a shot glass. So I put some ice in the limeade, because I want ice in my limeade. I'm gonna grab some paper towels, and you'll see why in a second. So first of all, we're just gonna pour ourselves a quick shot of this nice ginger cherry bomb. And now it's time for Flayon to get in this robot. Let's hope this works. Whoop. Our shot glass is stuck on some ice. Oh well. Oh, I love this. I seriously love this drink. This is also a pretty low alcohol one. I mean, it's a shot of vodka. The sour cherry taste and that ginger spice, it really just works together so well. I do really enjoy this one. I would make it all the time if it didn't take a long time to make. But it is well worth the effort. I'm gonna mix that up a little bit more. There we go. Whoop, look at that. If you don't want to drop the shot glass, that's fine. You can just pour it in. This is what it looks like if you just pour it in. But that is just really tasty. Nice and sweet and sour. If you do pour it, you might want to stir it a little bit more, or else you're gonna get a lot of the ginger and cherry at the top, and then just limeade later. And there you have it. That is the Machina X Flayon, aka the red-headed bombshell, giving a little up to the cherry bomb aesthetic of it, but also the nice way that red makes a cool top to the drink. What can I say? I said some things about Flayon in the other video, and I stand by it. He tastes great. We had our Flayon, we had our Artress, and he's got that nice, really sus spiciness to him. This one is definitely up there on my list. I would definitely make it a lot more if it didn't take so long. But if I had an excuse like a party to spend a whole day letting this stuff filter, this would absolutely be well worth it. Spicy boy. Stop! Armis time. I don't know how to do that. I think I pulled something. Oh my god, this counter's so dirty. Why did I leave it like this yesterday? God, what the fuck is wrong with me? I just got back from Chili's, which means I'm already poisoned. So I might as well keep stacking debuffs at this point. As you probably expected from that stupid bit I just did, we're on to Armis. And why not keep in tradition of doing these in a weird order? Because I feel like it. Definitely not because I haven't figured out two of the drinks. You don't see the dates I'm recording these, you won't know. Octavio, Octavio has a fancy vibe. I think we can all agree on that. He's a composer, he's got the puppeteer going, he's got the whole suit going. When I think of Octavio, I think of something classy. So we are going to make a vodka martini, because what is more classy than a martini? And to kind of play at that faded blue color scheme he's got going, and also that kind of sensation you get, especially in that debut where it was like, oh, he's gonna be really sweet, and then you're hit with that shock factor of him being not as sweet as you would think. In this case, dry, because we are making a martini. We are going to be using blueberry vodka. You're gonna do 3 ounces of the good stuff. Woo! And then you're gonna spill like a full 1/4 of an ounce on your counter, because you are still an idiot and don't know how to pour things, despite having been making these drinks for 3 weeks now. And then 1 ounce of, now I have extra dry vermouth. I wasn't paying that much attention in the store when I grabbed it. I think it actually helps this. It really cuts the sweetness factor down a lot. How sweet is this? Oh, that's not too terribly sweet, but this helps a lot. You're gonna do 1 ounce of that vermouth. Dry, extra dry. If you wanna copy me, then feel free. If you just wanna do regular dry, or I don't know what a wet martini is, but if you wanna do that, you can try, I guess. So sorry, James Bond, but we are going to stir this instead of shake it, because apparently that's how martinis are supposed to be made. That makes sense when you remember he says shaken, not stirred, but I don't know, I feel like everybody just thinks a martini is shaken these days because of James Bond. I'm not even gonna lie, the first few times I made these, I shook it, just out of habit. Yeah, that's gonna... There's a fucking stink bug or some shit here. Sorry. Oh my god, I'm missing. Ah, I can't. There, oh. I think it's dead. Anyways, I'm a broke bitch, and I'm not gonna go buy a martini glass for this video. But I did steal this margarita glass from my aunt and uncle. So we're gonna do that, I guess. Next step, oh, there's ice in here, by the way, if you didn't figure that out, just to chill it. We're gonna strain it. Ooh, look at that. Typically you would garnish your martini with olives. I hate olives, so I'm not gonna do that. Fuck it, let's do blueberries. I also don't have toothpicks, so I'm just gonna throw these in here, and that's just gonna be a hazard. Boop, boop. Boom, 2 blueberries. I don't fucking know. You wanna do olives, do olives. I don't give a shit. I'm not your dad. There is a very specific flavor that I can describe to you for this one. Anyone who has had this is gonna immediately know exactly how this tastes. This tastes and smells like the blue Scooby-Doo gummy. It is that exact flavor. Just a little drier, I guess. But it tastes so close to that, I feel like I'm right back in my childhood. That right there, that's the Octavio. It's pretty simple. It's very good. It's, at least in my opinion, not on the sweeter side, but my sense of taste is apparently super fucked. A lot of these drinks I tried and I was like, yeah, that tastes like a drink, that tastes normal. And then I'd hand it to a family member and they would try it and be like, oh my god, that's so sweet. So maybe I'm just fucked up, but in my opinion, this isn't too sweet. The dry vermouth really cuts a lot of it out, and the vodka isn't actually as sweet as you would expect from a flavored vodka. I mean, that's just pleasant. It's the blue Scooby-Doo fruit snack. How are you gonna go wrong with that? And that is the Octavio, aka the puppeteer. So my phone's camera keeps stopping recording at random, and it's getting pretty annoying. I actually had to remake part of that martini to film that shot at the end. So I chugged that down real fast because it's also getting later and later, and I have shit to do tomorrow morning. So we're feeling great. This is awesome. So let's get right into the next one. This is, what the fuck? That's right, everybody. It's Goldbullet. Now, for Goldbullet, initially I thought, oh, he's gotta be like a shot, right? Because like it just takes one. And I actually had this drink in mind for someone else, but when I made it, I went, no, that has to be Goldbullet. I don't know how to explain it. If you taste it, I'm sure you'll understand. I mean, the color's gonna be kind of right for him. And just like his stats, the stealth is 5 stars on this one. The charisma is pretty high up there. The danger factor is, I think it's even above 5. You taste so little of the alcohol in this. It just goes down way too easy. I really, really like this drink. And we are going to start said drink with 2 ounces of spiced rum. Little tip for you, you probably want a smaller glass for this. You really don't need a big glass. I'm gonna do 2 ounces. Next, we are going to do 1 ounce of, now you can do peach liqueur. I just happen to buy peach vodka. It works just the same, if not maybe better. I don't know. It'll get you drunker, that's for sure. But either way, it's gonna be 1 ounce of your peach vodka. This is actually what you're gonna taste the most of. Then we're going to top it off with some apple cider. It can be cold, it can be hot. I've had it both ways. It works both ways. So if you want something refreshing for like a brunch, go with cold. If you want it to be warm for nighttime to make you feel nice and cozy before you go to bed, do it hot. It really does work both ways. So we're just gonna top it off with the cider. And this is kind of why you probably want to do a smaller glass instead of a taller one. With this smaller glass, you are still getting the flavors of the rum and the peach in there. If it were taller, that would get kind of washed out by the cider. And then just one last little thing, just a little squeeze of lemon juice. Nothing too crazy. Clean up the rest of the cider I spilled. And there you have it, that's the Goldbullet. Oh, seriously, that is so delightful. I don't know if I've called anything else delightful. I probably have. I'm running out of adjectives at this point, but this is the one that fits that adjective the most. This is just so refreshing, nice and sweet. What it really ends up tasting like is a peach cider. The spiced rum kind of just enhances the peach flavor, and the cider just mainly gives it that cider feel. Both really just enhance the peach in a really beautiful way. I like it both ways. I was just too lazy to heat up the cider. Seriously, if you're ever planning a brunch with someone where it's socially acceptable to drink, we all know you can drink at brunch. We got mimosas, we got Bloody Marys. Put the Goldbullet on that list. Yes, the color's right, yes, the taste has his vibe, but seriously, it does match his stats. That stealth and danger factor are way up there. This is the one that I am most inclined to say, please be careful. It is way too easy to drink this. And with over a shot of rum and just about a shot of vodka, it's not necessarily a light drink, but it tastes like you're just doing peach cider. Also, there's no AKA to this one. Goldbullet is just already a great name for a drink. The Goldbullet. That's all it needs to be. If you drop this in front of someone and say, this is the Goldbullet, they'll understand. That's up there for me. It is very sweet. I mean, it's apple cider and peach and, you know, lemon juice. It's sweet, but in that, again, kind of cider kind of way. Day or night, hot or cold, the Goldbullet will always hit its mark. I know every segment has been 2, but this one's only 1, and the next one's only 1, because it's Friday, baby! And I was working all day, and I have to go do Drinksakai in like 30 minutes, so we're making a drink for that. I'm gonna be upfront with you. This is the only one I've done that I'm actually scared of. I'll also be upfront with you. I haven't made this one before, so we're gonna see how this goes. In theory, everything about it is actually pretty standard. There's no way it's gonna be like bad. It's just that it seemed fitting for Jurard T. Rexford to make just a fuck up spicy Bloody Mary. That phrasing I think is exactly from my notes. I think when I was just theory crafting, I wrote fuck off spicy Bloody Mary, and that's what we've got. I don't like spicy food, so this is gonna go great. As I said, this isn't actually too crazy as far as proper like cocktail goes. At most, we're adding hot sauce, but even that's not the craziest idea for a Bloody Mary. It's just that we are trying to go all out with it. I don't really have the words to explain this one. I think we all just agree this makes sense for Jurard. He's a spicy boy. He's a spicy boy and we're making a spicy drink. We are using Zing Zang Blazing Bloody Mary mix, because we're going for extra spicy. Thankfully, since this is just a Bloody Mary that is meant to hurt you, it's pretty easy to remember the recipe, because if you buy the Zing Zang Bloody Mary mix, it's right there on the back. Zing Zang's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's easy to find. It's cheap. It's pretty standard as far as things go. Oh my god, it smells like you poured a bottle of Tabasco into a bowl of tomato soup. I'm so scared. I don't like spicy things. All right, so that's gonna be 4 ounces of Zing Zang Blazing Bloody Mary mix. Why did I do that? Oh, it already hurts. And now, at the recommendation of my father, shout out Dad Sakai, our vodka of choice is actually going to be this Absolute Pepper. It is a pepper-flavored vodka. God. This drink is actually pretty modular, which is the nice part, which is to say, if you don't want it that spicy, get normal Zing Zang. Don't buy pepper-flavored fucking Absolute. Don't put Tabasco in it. Make a normal Bloody Mary. Don't do this to yourself. Or if you want it spicier because you hate yourself or something, add more Tabasco. It's really not that complicated. My dad also texted me Worcestershire sauce might go in it, but I had already gotten back from the store, so I'm not gonna go back out there and get more. 1.5 ounces of vodka of your choice. Again, we are using the Absolute Pepper. I didn't actually get any, but I was able to taste it. Oh god. Fuck me, dude. So that was 4 ounces, 1.5. Pour over ice. Oops. Okay, let's get some ice. Interesting fact, if something is too spicy, don't drink water. Water makes it worse. You're gonna wanna drink milk if it gets too spicy. That's just how it goes. Let me smell the vodka. I didn't actually smell it. Whoa. Oh, that's bizarre. I'm not smelling pepper vodka, I'm smelling pepper and vodka. There's just 2 different scents there. That's a flavor. Before we make it worse, let's see what this tastes like. Yeah, that tastes like a Bloody Mary that hurts. The burn is starting. We're gonna add some pepper. You put it in Bloody Marys. That's normal. I'm not crazy. And then we're gonna open this Tabasco. I'm not ready for this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why not? You usually garnish it with a celery stick, but I forgot to buy celery. Okay. Fuck. Here's the thing, it's like in my mouth, it's a little spicy, but I can feel myself sweating. Is my face redder? I've sipped it enough to know it's gonna be very bad when I try to actually drink it. My mouth is getting worse by the second. Let's double it. Why not? I gotta get through a whole 4-hour stream. Hey, by the way, shout out Drink Sakai. I get drunk and often yell at Sonic. The crazy part is that this doesn't actually taste of pepper, really. The flavor of the tomato, because it's a Bloody Mary, is still really kind of mostly what you're tasting. It's just that a moment after you sip it, you're in pain, and you can't comprehend why. Like, why does this hurt so much? I thought that was tomato soup, is what your brain is saying. Is this good? Yeah, actually. It's not bad. Is this so far the only one I wouldn't remake? Probably, but that's because I'm a bitch. I'm sorry, Jurard. That's nothing against you. I love you. That's why I made you this drink. Because I love you so much it hurts. Okay, let's get that final shot, and then I gotta go fucking do a stream with this. God. So yeah, that right there is the Jurard T Rexford, aka the Fiery Prince. I'm in pain. I hate to admit it's pretty good. It tastes like a Bloody Mary with some pepper in it. Pepper and pepper, but it's pretty good. So if you like a Bloody Mary, I mean, you're not gonna hate this. I'm just in a lot of pain. I'm actually starting to sweat. God damn. All right, next segment. If you see me in the street, don't hand me spicy food. Okay, bye. I'm not gonna lie to you. It is 1:45. Today's already annoyed the shit out of me, and I only have 1 drink left, so let's start drinking. Yes, you guessed it, last but most certainly not least is my boy, Crimzon Ruze. I love Ruze. I'm sorry, I do. And so I am excited to do this one. Step 1, is clean up your counter again because it somehow keeps getting sticky even though you don't use it for several days. Like, the wood just has to be releasing sap at this point. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna leave that there because there's almost certainly gonna be more spills and shit later. So for Ruze, I wanted to do, well, it's in his name, the Crimzon Ruze, aka the Crimzon Ruze. So we are going to make a margarita. It's going to be a nice bright red color provided by these blood oranges. But the Ruze aspect is, because a red margarita, it looks like it's gonna be nice and sweet and tasty that way. But we are going to add in a little bit of jalapeno to make it spicy. I was gonna do red chilies to really make sure it was red, but Kroger didn't have any, so we're doing a jalapeno instead. And of course, we need a blender. I think I can just put it all into the blender. I'm not gonna lie, I have not made this one. I don't know what this one's gonna taste like. I think it'll be good, I'm sure it'll be good. But this is the one I have not made at all yet. So, we're gonna see how this goes. 2, 2, 1. Okay. We're gonna start with 2 ounces of our silver tequila. Wouldn't be a good margarita without it. I don't know if that needed to go into the blender, but it's too late, I've done it. Next, we're gonna do 1 ounce of lime juice. We're gonna cut and dice up about half an inch of this here jalapeno. Cut it up just a little bit more so it's easier to blend. You know what? Just in case, we're gonna add another half inch. We're going crazy. This is a Crimzon Ruze. This is gonna be spicy. So obviously, if you want it to be spicier, just add more jalapeno. But as we've established, I'm a bitch ass, so we're not gonna do that. Then we need 1 teaspoon. What the fuck is my teaspoon? 1 teaspoon of simple syrup, or if you are so inclined, agave nectar is often used and recommended for margaritas. I just didn't want to pay for it because I already had all this simple syrup. It was a little bit more than a little. I'm not gonna complain if this ends up being a little sweeter. You might, but that's your fault. And finally, the fun part is we are going to juice some blood oranges. We need 2 ounces of blood orange juice. Cut right into that. Look at that. Oh, that is a nice looking red. Oh my God. Fuck. Whoa. Oh, I'm a dumbass. There was jalapeno on my finger. I was like, why was that spicy? Whoa. Shit. Alright, well there's about 1 ounce. There's only a massive fucking mess to account for it, but be careful with your blood oranges. Or just be better than I am. Ugh. Blood oranges are good. You know, one of my hot takes is that there are a few too many kinds of orange. I love orange. Orange is my favorite fruit. It's just, why do we need 1,000 different oranges? Like, we've got a few too many apples, and then there's like twice as many oranges as there are apples. Great time for my eye to itch right after I cut jalapenos and got orange juice all over my fingers. My God, it looks like a murder has taken place. Next step, clean this the fuck up. Ooh, that's a preview of what this is about to taste like. This is gonna be fucking good. Last step for frozen margaritas ice. I don't know how much ice is supposed to go in here. Let's do that and see what happens. And now we blend. Okay. I will admit, it's not as red as I thought it was gonna be. Ooh, smells fun. Oh, fuck. That didn't go right. Oh, fuck. Ooh, it tastes good though. Oh, I am not beating the boy failure allegations on this video anymore. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna add more blood orange juice. All right, I'm back. I added another about 2.5 to 3 ounces of that blood orange juice. It's a little more red now. This could be more frozen. I won't lie. It's too late. I've made the drink. Look at that. Of course, you can salt the rim like you're supposed to, but again, I didn't because I'm lazy. That looks very nice. The real question is, how does it taste? Oh, oh, oh. That right there is a Crimzon Ruze. Wow. I really kind of like that. You're looking at it. It looks like this is supposed to taste like, you know, something sweet. But that, whoo, whoo, that has a kick to it. I wanted it to be a little redder. I'm not disappointed, but I am disappointed. That's entirely on me. Again, it could have been the jalapeno that did it. It could have been that I used this lime juice instead of like freshly squeezed lime juice. Maybe my blood oranges weren't as red as theirs. Regardless, it tastes good, and you could probably easily find a way to make it more red, especially if you didn't blend the ice in with it. You would have to blend it to break down the jalapeno. I guess you could have just bought like a red chili sauce. Well, fuck. Yeah, you probably could have just used like a hot sauce. Whatever, this was more fun. This is more in line with what you would think with a margarita, is having jalapeno. For the purposes of this video, I am happy with this though. It does have quite a shocking little kick to it. That tastes, ooh. It feels fruity, but it tastes like a jalapeno. My mouth is on fire. Maybe it's because I also used so much jalapeno. I used like an inch worth as opposed to half. Don't let that discourage you. This is actually really good. I'm not lying. I'm not putting up a bit. This is really good. Whew, it is hitting me. Let's taste this blood orange. Hold on. Why did I do it like that? I mean, that kind of just tastes like an orange. You're definitely tasting it in here. I mean, with nearly 4 to 5 ounces of blood orange juice, I'd hope you'd taste it. But true to its name, it is deceiving you with what you're actually gonna be hit most by. You can taste that undercurrent of the orange and how it's like holding up the jalapeno. Maybe I'm insane. I'm not a professional bartender. I'm not a professional mixologist. I'm just an asshole who drinks too much. Hey, quick note, I figured it out. Here's a little comparison of the difference between the two. The problem was the blending. That's what was actually making it lose its color. So 1/2 inch of the jalapeno, the simple syrup, the lime juice, the tequila, all the same thing, go into the blender, blend that, and then add that to your squeezed blood orange juice. It's no longer even close to being frozen. I didn't put ice in it, but that is a lot closer to the crimson that we want. Ooh. Maybe the inch in the other one was a little too much. That's actually, it's still got that kick, but it is a lot more pleasant. But my reactions to the other one are better, and I already filmed the outro to this video holding the wrong one, so please enjoy that and ignore the fact that the wrong drink is sitting there the whole time. That is your favorite, least favorite idol. That is him right there to a T. That worked out exactly how I wanted it to. I'm very happy. It looks so sweet, and then you get a taste, and he kicks you in the mouth as hard as he can. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed making all of these. This video was actually super fun. I would love to do more. In fact, my boss was actually kind enough to give me these cocktail books when I was talking about a lot of the ideas for this. I've got a lot more options that we could go through. So if you enjoyed this, please let me know. I would love to make another video like this. I would probably just be doing this in my free time. You might as well tell me you liked it so that I actually put it on film. If you try any of these drinks, please let me know what you think. I would love to hear your thoughts on them. I think there's not a bad one. I mean, if there was a bad one, I wouldn't have put it in the video. I may or may not have made a bad one or two, and they are not in the video. So everything that you see does taste good. If I had to make a tier list, I wouldn't, because I don't play favorites, but my favorite is the Josuiji Shinri. Again, this is nothing personal with any of the actual VTubers. I just really like old fashions. I like orange. That one just hit so hard right off the bat. That whiskey is perfect for it. I know it's expensive, but honestly, I can't see it working as well with any other whiskey or bourbon that I've tried, at least. If you find a cheaper alternative that does taste just as good, please let me know. That whiskey, that old fashioned, I'm really proud that that is the first one I made. But every single one afterwards has been really enjoyable and really pleasant. The only one I probably wouldn't make again is the Jurard T Rexford, simply because, holy shit, that was really spicy. That's not what I do. I do think I would make this again, but this is really burning me. My lips are on fire right now. But seriously, this video was very fun to make. I'm very happy with how everything turned out. Oh, it's getting me, hold on. Okay, fuck. Something just really smacks me. Okay, seriously, thank you so much again for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, do the YouTube things. If there are other groups you want me to do this with, please let me know down below. Whew, I would be happy to make more. God, why did it suddenly get so hot? I must have like bitten into a seed or something. Fuck. It is suddenly way, way, way hotter. Please ring the bell, become a member if you want to see more stuff, secret stuff, early stuff, etc. Oh, God. Oh.